you guys, it's Rachel here with Sons of Tempo Cane Corso. Trinity, cut it out, come on. So, I'm doing another installment of our Meet the Pack, or Meet the Dogs. And I have here Trinity. And, whoa now, girl. Guess I need to fix that. That kind of came off. Oh well. Alright, so, Trinity! Alright. So, Trinity, good girl, there's a baby girl. Trinity is the last dog that I kept. You gonna poop? You gonna poop? She's the last dog that I kept out of my Preacher and Cashmere, good Lord, out of my Preacher and Cashmere breeding. She, you crazy girl, what are you doing? She's a wild one. If you're not dizzy yet, you will be. So, last dog out of my Preacher and Cashmere breeding. Well, not my last breeding. I had one more after hers. But she was the last one that I kept anything out of. And I swear she's gonna make everybody dizzy. She's making me dizzy. So I can only imagine. So, last dog that I kept back. So she was pick of the litter female, and she actually went to Reese, who is my business partner in Virginia. And then she came back to me for breeding. And she was raised over there with Reese's pack. And so from about, I think, 4 months old. And so anyway, so she wasn't raised with my pack, and because of that, she hasn't always fit in the best. So she's kind of gotten picked on a little bit, but it's actually gotten a little bit better recently. Definitely gotten a little bit better recently. And she is she's not huge, but she's definitely not one of my smaller dogs. And I would say she weighs probably around 95 pounds, but she's also a very athletically built dog. She has the best hips that I have in my program. So better than her father's. The only dog whose hips that she has not tested better than is her sister, not littermate sister, but she does have a sister. You gonna poop? Are you gonna poop? She has a sister out of my second breeding out of Preacher and Cashmere. And so that female has just slightly better hips, just slightly. I mean, really, I think that the other female is like 0.20, 0.22, and Trinity is like 0.22, 0.24. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's extremely slight. So extremely, extremely good hips, and really, really happy to see that in our lines. We've had really good luck with that. An area where she could use some improvement. So Trinity structurally is not one of my better dogs. Her top line is slightly roach. She needs much more rear angulation. She doesn't have the turn to stifle that she needs. And her upper arm, I think I'd have to look at it, but I'm looking at it now, but she's not standing in such a way that would give me a good idea of that. Let me see if I can get her to yeah, so it's short. So her upper arm is short. I don't think her croup is horrible. I think it's actually her top line that's the problem. Let me take a look here and see. It's a little low, but it's not the worst thing. So anyway, her hips are the biggest reasons why we bred her. The hips are fantastic, and And honestly, I mean, you know, she's very reminiscent of what I started with in my breeding program as far as with Preacher and Cashmere. I didn't have the skill level that I do now in recognizing correct Corso structure whenever I purchased my original dogs and then whenever I kept back dogs. So, but it is still a good blueprint. So, for example, a lot of Corso have these issues that she has. She's very reminiscent of a lot of Corso. And even champion Corso. I would never champion her because I don't believe in championing a dog that I don't think is above average quality. But there are dogs out there that have. And so the thing about it is that overall they're very healthy lines. They don't have any health issues that I've noticed. In all of my breedings with Preacher and Cashmere, I've not had one dog that had anything that or have any kind of patterns, right? So if you have one dog that has a problem, that's just, you know, bad luck, or really just the way it is, to be perfectly honest with you. A human couldn't have as many kids as Preacher and Cashmere had and not have at least one problem. But having said that, I have not had any kind of repeated issues. So anyway, so they're very healthy lines, and overall, I will say that the orthopedic health is, you know, above average, well above average. So that in itself is reason enough to go ahead and breed a dog like her. I bred her to Mad Mortigan, as many of you know, and even though we lost most of the litter, we lost all but 3 of them, we actually had some really good structure in the litter. And so what I found about these Preacher Cashmere puppies is it's very easy to breed up. So that means to better the lines, to make the dogs, to make them a better example of the breed. So the female that I kept back, Dacia, out of Trinity, is really, really nice. And she wasn't even my first pick. She was just the one I picked because of her immune system. She had such a rock solid immune system, and she has great length of body, which I will say that's another thing I missed about Trinity. Trinity is square. She has great length of body. She has a great rear angulation. She does look to have a decent front, not a phenomenal front, but a decent front, better than her mother's. And she also has a straight top line and even a better head. So most breeders, when they do breedings, from what I have seen, most of them don't make as much progress as I've seen in my breedings with my Preacher Cashmere stuff. And maybe that's because they don't put it to the right stuff, but nonetheless, you know, my kennel has really gotten a lot better in quality because I've been so aware of what is structurally faulty about my dogs, and then choosing dogs that will complement them. Now, I will say that the Mad Mortigan breeding was more of an experiment because honestly, they don't complement each other as well, but the genetics behind Mad Mortigan I knew would come through, and that's exactly what happened. So Mad Mortigan has years and generations of really good structure behind him, and that came through in that litter. And so that's the good thing about phenotype versus genotype, because sometimes you'll have a dog, maybe I chose a male that looked perfect to put to Trinity, but if the lines are not built like the dog itself, the odds are that we're not going to produce the desired results because the genetics are not there. So anyway, so it was a really good breeding, and she has been a really great mother. She loves her babies a lot, and she has very big litter sizes. And another thing that I find to be somewhat problematic in some Corso lines is reproductive health, and she has excellent reproductive health. So she had a huge litter of 13 puppies. She was able to naturally whelp all of them, and she needed just a little bit of assistance from me, but not much. And, you know, overall was a fantastic mother. So anyway, so that's another benefit to Trinity, and one that I hope to continue in her lines. As many of you know, Trinity will be going back to Reese's house pretty soon. In fact, I think Reese is going to be sending Melina over here to be bred. We'll hopefully be breeding her to Preacher. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I'm hoping that we do, because I would really like to do that breeding. And then Trinity is going to go back over there for a breeding to be bred to Achilles, which is genetically the same breeding that produced Nirvana and Koa. So I'm really hoping to produce something along those same lines, and hopefully in another color, because not that color particularly matters, but as you guys know, I've got a lot of fawn and Formentino dogs right now, and if I could produce something on the scale of Nirvana in a color that's not so dominant, that would be awesome. So anyway, so she'll be over there for that breeding, and then we're gonna breed her, I believe, one other time to a male, hopefully Kuma, which is Reese's male Kuma. We'll do that breeding, and then she's going to be retired. So she has 2 more breedings ahead, and then retirement for her. Need your baby girl. Need your baby girl. Need your baby. Oh, did your baby. Did your pretty baby. Don't you jump on me. She's, I would say she's around 25 and a half inches. She's almost 26 inches at the withers. She's a decently sized dog. And like I said, she's probably around 95, maybe even 100 pounds. We'll have to see. She's not a small dog by any stretch of the imagination. She's by far, I think, one of my most athletic dogs. She loves to run, very, very fast, and lots and lots and lots of energy. So anyway, so there's a lot to add in from her as far as that's concerned. Hefe, bro, do you mind? Quiet down, Hefe. Oh God, look at her. She's barking. So anyway, so that's our plans for Trinity. That's it's Trinity's story. As far as her temperament's concerned, you know, it's weird because Trinity wasn't raised here. And so because she wasn't raised here, and because I have a pack, she is considered an outcast. And she's not really able to be herself because of the pack. And come on, Trinity, come. And so Trinity, come. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So I would say that naturally she's a very assertive, dominant, confident dog. But being in this pack, it doesn't allow her to be that way. So anyway, you know, it's hard to say what she would or wouldn't be. I mean, I've seen it enough to know the way she is, that she doesn't enjoy being lower on the pack, but she also doesn't want to get mauled. So she's respectful, but it isn't her natural temperament to want to be, or personality to be on the bottom. But unfortunately here she is. So I'm kind of hoping that whenever she goes back to Reese's house, she'll actually be more confident and be happier. I do think that there is the ability there for her to kind of fit back in and kind of almost be with her family, which is going to be cool. So anyway, so other than that, I guess that's all the that I have on her. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day. And also, we do have a live stream tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be a real R&R with a guest speaker, where we'll have a guest there. Jimmy Stancio, I believe it is his last name. And he's the AKC judge. And you guys will be able to ask some questions there. And so anyway, so we really enjoyed it last time and figured we'd do it again. So this time we all know what we need to do as far as everybody having the right equipment so that the recording goes smoothly. And I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are too. So be there or be square like Trinity. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!